Hello, guys. My name is Sarah, and I am a platinum leader here in Victoria, Melbourne. And I am super, super excited that I get the chance to sit here with you guys today and have a chat. Super sad that it's not in person, but I feel really lucky that we have these opportunities where we can even film this stuff and still go ahead with this awesome education. So, a little bit about me is that I am platinum. I was able to get to gold and platinum quite fast, considering I'm a stay-at-home mum with two little kids. I actually have another little baby on the way in my tummy, so that's exciting. And my husband works 6 days a week, so it is hectic. It is not easy, but it has been an amazing journey. I was actually able last year to win first place on the doTERRA incentive trip too. So I was able to take my beautiful family away to New Caledonia with doTERRA, which was incredible. Feel really lucky to have been able to have the opportunity. And I do often find myself in the top enroller category, which is pretty cool too. So I think I was in the top 5 or 6 for Australia in the last 6 months, which was really cool too. And yeah, I'm just really excited about getting to share a little bit of my journey, some of my tips and tricks with you today. We are going to do some screen sharing. So I guess why I'm here to talk to you today, and I am going to try and get through this a little bit fast, is because I don't have heaps of time and I want to make sure I get through all the good stuff with you guys. But I am going to be presenting to you today on basically doTERRA's promotional calendar and sort of how to gain a little bit of insight into that, maximize doTERRA promotions, and most importantly, which is my favorite thing ever to talk about, is building a customer relationship which is based on trust. It's my huge, big passion from when I first started with essential oils. And I guess for me, I'm going to spend just a quick minute. I did get started with essential oils because my little boy did not sleep for a year. It was sending me loopy. I got some essential oils, got the Home Essentials kit, and it changed my life. We use lavender and frankincense for teething, for sleep, and it literally changed our home. Really pivotal moment in motherhood for me. I think it really changed a lot about our home and our life. Figuring out that we could have access to natural solutions and it could be simple when I was really broken and overwhelmed. And the fact that it was simple and it worked was incredible for us. And that led to a massive lifestyle change over probably now 2 or 3 years, swapping out products, getting really annoyed at products and some of the options we have for our home, and feeling really inspired to share how simple it can literally be, and to have a healthier home, to have healthier options for our kids, to have healthier options for our husbands, to make our products. And so for me, that journey led to me starting my Instagram page, which is over at Mama Revolution. I remember starting with 22 followers. I remember that number. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I now have 18,000 followers. But the people who have been following me since the start will understand that I showed up on that platform, which is my main platform of doing my business. I built my business online and one-on-one. They were my 2 biggest strengths. I love them both equally. I built my business by showing up every single day. Didn't matter if I had 22 followers, didn't matter if I had 18,000. I show up the same way. And for me, that's really important to get across to you guys, because one of the main things that I hope you take away from today is that my huge people, person, team focus. And I truly, truly believe the one thing that we all need to understand is that everything comes down to how we show up every day, and it's not just promotion day. So even though I'm here to talk to you about promotions and I can give you all these tips and tricks, the one thing I truly, truly believe is that showing up every single day, regardless of if you've got promotions to share or things you want your community to buy, because that's part of our business. It's about the value you add in between that. That is the most important thing I personally think that you can do in your doTERRA business in terms of building trust and building community and team. So I just want to let you know this doesn't come from a place of perfection. The early days of my business, the first 6 to 12 months, I placed zero value on sharing promotions. I was really focused on my joy. My joy was genuinely showing people how to make shifts in their home. Like, that was what I wanted to do. I was so immensely focused on that. I had no interest in any of the business side of doTERRA. I had no interest in sharing any of the promotions, any of those things. And to be honest with you, I actually thought that was super salesy. I had watched people push out those promotions month after month with no engagement, no context, no education. And to be really honest with you, I didn't love it. In fact, in my eyes, there's nothing worse than consistently feeling like you're being sold to. And I absolutely despise when people only show up when they have something that they want you to buy. So for me, that's one of the fastest ways to lose my business. And I was always in the mindset of, I do not want to do the business side of things, in particular pushing these promotions and deals. And I certainly won't be one of those pushy people, because that's not what I'm about. And so I wouldn't post them, I wouldn't share them. And now, upon much reflection, it was probably one of the biggest mistakes I made early on in my business days, because now, as I view these promotions, and I guess that's why I'm here to talk to you about it, because my shift has been quite big. The way I view them now is that our promotions give us a couple of things. So they give us a window for conversation, they give us a space for education, and they give us dedicated time each month as leaders to dive deeper into our knowledge, which is really important, of products, whilst meaningfully sharing that knowledge with our community. And so I think what's interesting is, sorry, I've got little notes with me so I don't dive too far off the radar with this stuff, is that flipping my mindset on this really came about quite simply. And I think for me, and I still do it to this day, in fact, people on my team will tell you I do this, I actually really regularly imagine myself as a customer. I imagine myself back at the start of my oil journey when I first bought my oils and I was full of questions. I needed someone to explain them to me. I needed someone to explain how to use the things to me. I needed someone how to explain the product to me. And I needed it to be done in a compassionate way, in a timely way, in a professional way, and in a way where I felt like I was part of something where I could go to get that education too. And so I remember thinking to myself when I was having a look at this topic, I remember thinking, well, the answer is actually not sharing, because people, and I was one of those people, need to know the information. So I needed to work on my mindset, and I needed to find a way to connect my message and the value that I see in the products and the things I know about the products by educating my community authentically. And it was with that realization that I really, really started to show up in my own business. So and placed at that time a huge emphasis on the education that went along with things like promotions, so that when they were being delivered, they were being delivered with purpose, but they were being delivered in a way that was meaningful. And for me, that really changed me as a leader, but it really changed my community entirely. So, because at the end of the day, there's no doubt that doTERRA have amazing, ridiculously generous, products and promotions and things like that. You could get up every single month and be like, this is crazy. This is the promotion that doTERRA have this month. They're amazing because they're well thought out. They're incredible. But the bigger picture, I guess, for us as wellness advocates is how we connect what we know to be true to our community, whether that be on person, whether that be online, and how do we build the trust to help our customers with their oils and their products so that it supports their wellness journey, but it can ensure that we help them to continue purchasing from us in the future. And if there's one thing that I have learned over the past 2 years in having a look for some of these answers, it's that people aren't just searching for another product. They're not just searching for another monthly promotion. There's only so many months you can go on and be like, this promotion's amazing, this is incredible, because eventually they're going to be like, well, what do I do with it? How is that actually going to impact my life? What people are truly looking for is a lifestyle change. And that's really important. And I think when we as wellness advocates actually shift our mindset to understanding that lifestyle change is the most important thing, your business actually shifts with you. So if there's one thing I truly pride myself in, it's the message of creating meaningful lifestyle change. And I know some of my community and my builders will be watching this today, and I'm pretty sure they'll agree with me when I say I really feel like in our community we do a really good job at that. And that's why I am excited to share with you guys today sort of some of the things that we do to build trust and connection whilst maximizing the promotions, because we do need to do that too. So for us, we want to ensure that our customers are educated and understand how to use the oils they already have, that they continue to purchase doTERRA products and live a lifestyle of health and empowerment. And also that they feel safe with it in our community to learn and ask questions, and know that they're going to receive an honest answer. And I think that's really important too. So today I'm going to chat quickly about BOGO. I'm going to chat about 200 PV promo, and I'm going to chat about newly launched products. So all the fun things. And I do just want to quickly remind you, this is one of those things, something that I learned on Incentive Trip is it's okay with, when you go through your business journey with doTERRA, we're going to hear lots of business information. We're going to hear how lots of people went along their journey, and what worked for some people is just not what's going to work for other people. So it's definitely okay to take bits that you need, take things that resonate with you, and if they don't work for you, that's okay too. I think in this business we all grow, we all change as we go along, which is something that I've definitely done. And that's the real beauty of this journey. It's that we can actually keep doing that till we get it right. So love it. And I think probably one of my favorite promotions and favorite things I actually want to talk about is definitely going to be up number one is BOGO. So BOGO is my favorite doTERRA promotion, hands down. But it's also one of the promotions where I hands down do the most work, because I truly believe it's one of our greatest opportunities to get oils into homes, because the value is undeniable. So for us, my big tips around BOGOs, if we're just going to get through them a little bit so I can actually have time to finish this with you guys, is number one, like I've already said to you guys, being present in your business every single day is one of the most important things you can do to ensure that you have a really successful BOGO month. And that is because there's absolutely nothing worse than when BOGOs get announced and we kind of pop up like meerkats and we're like, oh, hey, I haven't spoken to you guys for ages. I haven't offered any education. I haven't done any of that engagement work, but I've got these really good sales for you. It's not a nice thing to experience as a customer. And I think that we need to be working on building trust. We need to be working on adding value into our communities, because then when BOGOs do get announced, and guys, we can kind of have a look back into history and have a guess at when BOGOs might come. So we know we get a chance to make sure we are up and about in our communities. We're connecting with our customers. We are, offering value in our community before BOGO, I should say, so that when BOGO does come out, we are already present. And so then it doesn't look salesy. What it does is it looks exciting, which is incredible. And that's probably my number one thing about BOGOs. And that is, I think, why we have such successful BOGOs in our community. So number two is we always have a split BOGO focus. So we will focus on BOGOs in two areas. So one is educating current customers how to BOGO, and the other focus is encouraging new customers to join for the kind of unparalleled value that is joining over BOGOs. So to me, this education looks like showing your face and physically explaining the BOGOs to both your public and private communities. However you are doing this, are you doing it via a live? Are you going via Facebook? Do you do things on Skype? Can you do a team meeting? Can you do a Zoom? Can you go onto Instagram? Can you make a phone call? Can you send a text message? It doesn't matter which way you do it. I mean, even if you are texting, you can record a video on your phone and send it to people's phones. We are so lucky now in terms of our access to being able to share, and showing your face is one of the best ways to get people to stop and listen. And despite my whole community probably knowing how BOGOs run, knowing how to BOGOs, without a doubt, every single time I show up and re-explain the BOGOs, re-explain the excitement, re-explain the value, because it is when we continually show up like this, and remind people of the perks, remind people of the excitement, is when I think we have the most success. And repetition is where I guess you get that community consistency of people knowing, oh, Sarah's going to show up. Sarah's going to show us how to do that. So I don't really need to think about it. Even if I'm a bit confused, Sarah's going to show up. Another big thing about BOGOs is being honest during BOGOs. So if your customer asks you, do you think I need these oils? The key is with BOGOs is to understand that it will happen again. And that sort of goes into my next point about, or my other point about being short-sighted. And that if people do overbuy at a BOGO and they don't know how to use their oils, they are very less likely to buy in the next BOGO. So it's really, really important to be honest with your partners, honest with your customers, and say, like, you know, what are you going to use the oil for? These are the things that I know you can use the oils for. These are the uses that we have in our home. These are the things that our community uses the oils for. Do you have any other oils you could use? I have said to people before, maybe this BOGO isn't for you. And then the next BOGO around, by the time that comes, they've bought every single BOGO. It's really, really important to be honest in BOGOs with your customers, because then they will actually trust that you're not just going to say to them, buy, 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 buy. And I think that rolls into sort of my next point as well, which is we always run BOGOs with education. I would not run a BOGO without some kind of education, and that was way back from when I was elite. So this is where the real value of BOGO lies for me, and that if you're running a BOGO just with promotional images and no education, you're not going to show people the value in the oils. So for me, it's about, can you schedule DIYs to show up in your community? You know, can you film some videos and get mad people an email? Can you do some research and show people what you're finding? Can you create educational posts with some engaging information on it for your community for each day of the BOGOs? Can you set up a BOGO email? You know, whatever this looks like to you, do that. And everyone's always going to be at different stages in their business, but it's really, really important to just know whatever you're doing is incredible. Like, just do something and don't do nothing because you can't do everything. If we look around at everybody and we think, I can't do what she's doing, everybody started somewhere in this business, and it's really important to just do something. So the time you spend educating with BOGO gives back to you in two ways. So you're going to have an empowered community, which is what we all want, who are going to know how to use their oils. And you are also going to learn, which makes you a better mentor and a better wellness advocate. So it's really, really incredible. There's not a BOGO in 3 years where I haven't learned something. And so I think that's probably, yeah, that is super, super important. I think I've got, don't be short-sighted there, but I've kind of gone across that yet. Again, I just think it's really important to know BOGOs come back, guys. You don't want people to, you know, overbuy and then not have a purpose and not be educated. You want to ensure that, you know, it's right for people and that they have a really good BOGO experience, because then when the next one comes around, they will be excited about it and they will be engaged with your content. And the other thing about BOGOs as well is get excited by them. I'm actually genuinely excited about BOGOs. I love BOGOs. I love BOGOs for myself because I get way cheaper oils. I love BOGOs for my builders because it means they can add oils to their collection that they might not have already. And I love BOGOs for my customers because it genuinely means cheaper oils. Like, I am so rooted in like how amazing BOGO is, that excitement beams out of me. Like, when I find out BOGOs are coming, I'm like, oh my God, I get everyone together who's a builder in my group, and we're like, oh my God, BOGOs, what can we do? Hey, this is super exciting. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Maybe we can think about putting an ebook together. I'm excited. I want to pass that on to my community too. It's about, we create countdown graphics, we create guesses, and we do bits and pieces so that it's really exciting. And I think it's really important to know that we're lucky to have them, and they are a huge, huge asset to our business. And so for me, when I do run a BOGO week, and then I run an education week after my BOGOs on how to use your BOGO oils, because there's no point getting your oils and you've done all this education during the week and then people get them and they kind of forget. I always find that running a separate week of education after BOGOs works incredibly well for people. Is a huge asset to my community, huge asset to my learning. And I just think, don't underestimate the BOGO education. Know that the work is worth it, and you start putting in this kind of work in these months, the next BOGO that comes along, it just gives and gives and gives. So it's completely incredible, and it's one of my favorite promotions. What's next on the list? 200 PV promo. Again, amazing promo. I will say, guys, like, I'm not a seasoned professional. I haven't been doing this for 5 or 10 years, like some of the amazing and slightly intimidating people who are also doing speeches for empowered success. But what I do know and what I pride myself on is how to be good to people. And nothing matters more to me in this business than that alone. And I think when 200 PV promos come up and people are considering spending more money than they normally would, I think we have to remember, how do I want to feel when I'm spending money? And the answer to that question is, I want to feel confident, I want to feel purposeful, and like I'm going to use and know how to use the product. But what I don't want to feel is regret. So we are big on the 200 PV promo in our team. Some of my tips around 200 PV promo are, again, it's all about our customers, guys, knowing our customers. It seems really logical, but it's something that's not easy in this business unless you are consistently being present. Every single time we have 200 PV promos, and my customers know, our customers know they can all reach out to us, ask us, is this something, do you think I need this promo? Do you think I'm going to use this promo? Let your customers know that it's okay for them to reach out to you and have those discussions, because that's how you're going to get to know people. The promos aren't going to be right for everybody. Sometimes people just don't need them, and that's totally okay, because when the next one comes along and they ask you and you do say yes, again, you've built that trust and knowledge about your customer. Number 2, educate on the 200 PV promo. Show your community how to use the 200 PV promo. Not just use, but how it's going to impact their lifestyle. Show the product, order it if you can. If you don't have it, we will quite often have multiple people jump in and talk about how they use it or what they use it for. And I find that works really well for us, especially since it gives people in our community just different viewpoints on how to use things. And I definitely think that if you can't do this, even leaning into your upline's resources, everyone will have an upline. If you can lean into your upline, even if you don't have, builders or bits and pieces, you can then, ask them, do you have this product? Would you mind giving me some information on that, or how you use it? And you can go back and chat about that. So there's always a way to show people how to use the 200 PV promo in their lifestyle. And I think that's really important. So the other thing that we always do is advertise the 200 PV promo with enrollment kits. So for me, I look at the 200 PV promo like a super generous little gift that doTERRA give us and a wonderful freebie for people basically who are starting their doTERRA journey. And so it adds incredible value onto like our home essentials kits and our nature solutions kits. So we always will advertise the 200 PV promo with that, knowing that you just get that extra layer of value. It's incredible. The other thing that we like to do in the community is show people the best way to bulk their 200 PV orders as well. So we have graphics, we have tables in our resource areas that are available for our team. It shows them what are the best products to buy for PV and dollar value and bits and pieces. And we also will go through during the month some products that we think people might want to try if they are looking to bulk up their 200 PV order. So I always look at 200 PV promo orders, because they are generally that bit bigger, as a way for people to sometimes try a new product. And again, that's about connecting in with your customer and connecting in with your community and sort of knowing their wants and needs. Quite often I will get into my community and literally ask them, hey guys, are there any products that you are considering trying and don't know anything about? Let me know and I'll chat to you about them. You know, there's like so many simple little things we can do to reach out to our community. I never hesitate to ask my community questions, and I never hesitate to make myself. And I know I've got beautiful, beautiful educators and leaders in my community who are exactly the same, who are available and are really good at giving honest answers and finding out what people need. And I think that's really, really the thing to understand about 200 PV promos is ultimately they're there to benefit and gift both new and existing customers. And also our community are getting really, really good value with them. And so it's really, really up to us to show the lifestyle behind whatever that promo is and make sure that people know how to order, know how to maximize those things, but also trust that they're going to have that education to know how to use it as well. So that's 200 PV promos. And my last, but definitely not my least favorite, I actually, it's probably one of the most exciting times in doTERRA, is new product, guys. New product is amazing in doTERRA. Like, who doesn't love new product? It's almost like Christmas in our community when we get new product. And we try and go all out when it comes out to get our customers educated and up to date on it. And so my big tips for when new product is launching is, number one, to get it. If you can get the new product, get the new product. It is one of those things that if you are educating on something and you don't own it, it becomes a little bit harder. So if you can get the new product, get the product. If you can't get the product, sometimes something might happen where you're not going to be able to get an order for a couple of weeks, your pay hasn't come through, you just know that you can't afford it right now. Sometimes when you're in the earlier days of your business, you might not be able to. Have a look around you, contact your upline. Someone around you will have access to the product. So you might even be able to organize a team live. You might be able to organize a dual streaming thing with your upline. You might be able to, this is where cross-line relationships are so important. You might be able to lean into somebody else you know who's getting the product and just say, hey, can you help me out? Can you jump on a live with me or take some photos with me or whatever it might be, so you can show the product. I always budget in the convention kits, at a rough cost. And I always make sure that I have money put away for them so I can make it happen. But I understand that's not everybody's option. So if you can't get the product, whatever it may be, just maybe have a think about, have a think outside of the box and how you can get your hands on some good information or some good education on that product that's coming from a first-hand source, if that makes sense. Number two, new product. Attend the events, guys. The events are incredible. I'm so sad conventions not happening. I think everybody is so sad, and that's why I'm so grateful that this is happening right now. But the best option, even if you can't attend, if you can live stream it, like when we get the options to buy the US live streaming, if you can catch up with someone who's attended the event, write some notes, have a conversation, follow up with any of the doTERRA stuff that comes out after the events. Their events, guys, are gold standard. They are insane. I haven't missed a US convention. I've never been, but I sit there and I live stream the whole thing. Anytime doTERRA do any education in relation to products, I am signed up because it's gold standard, amazing education, and it changes your knowledge of product. It's really, really incredible, and it's a huge, big, I just want to circle it here and be like, attend events, follow up information. it will change the way you can show up for your community. 3, be honest, guys. Seems logical, I get it, but it's super easy when new products are released to be like, oh, it does this, it does this, it does this, and you don't actually definitely know. You haven't had any first-hand experience of it. It's totally okay to present research, from credible people and especially from doTERRA, but it's really important to just make sure that you're being honest with what you do know, but also being honest with what you don't know. And I think, again, that leaves room for you guys to eventually get the product, test it yourself, experience yourself, and then show back up and keep educating on that new product. The best experience, I think, truly you can discuss in this business and share in this business is personal experience. So any way that you can do that is the number one for me. And then if you can't do that, like I said, it's kind of looking out of the box and seeing which way you can bring that into your business. And final, which is probably self-explanatory, is be excited, guys. doTERRA, when they're launching new products, it's one of the biggest events on the doTERRA calendar. And I get so excited to share this with my team. I get so excited to share this with my community. We do some of the countdown graphics, we do guessing things, we get people involved. If I get access to the new product, I try and give out little samples in my team. If my builders can't afford it, I'm trying to give them samples and do those kind of things, because new product means that doTERRA have worked endlessly and tirelessly behind the scenes to bring that to us. And it also normally always means sourcing, and sourcing is incredible. Sourcing is one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to doTERRA, because it's one of the best ways to show the true heartbeat of the company. And I think that is one of the glorious things about new products, is we get to generally share that sourcing information. So be excited. It's really cool. I just want to finish up by talking to you about a couple of little promotion things that I have found work for me. They might not work for you, but in general, I think it's really good if you can make your own promotional slides. So I have always made my own promotional slides. I do lean into doTERRA's occasionally, but I taught myself how to use Canva. You can download it for free. I think it brands to your business. And I think it just adds a beautiful level of kind of professionalism to your brand and your business for your community too. So I think if you can do your own promo slides, that it's important you give it a go. I will say that I am no expert in any of this kind of stuff in terms of technology, but I will say that one thing you will learn in this business is how to YouTube and how to learn new skills. My whole family knows on promo day, mum's done, mum's out, and I'm doing promo day because I want to get my promos, which goes into my next slide, out on time and consistently. For me, when it's promo day, those promos are coming out on time. Nothing looks better than consistency to your customers. They appreciate it. They come to expect it. But they thrive. People thrive off the routine of knowing what you're going to do and how you're going to show up. And I know this can be really hard. I get it. I have had kids screaming while I've been doing promotions. And I'm not coming to you from a place of privilege. My partner works 6 days a week, full time. We have no childcare. We have only in the last couple of weeks a little bit of kinder, which was 4 hours one day. And that's being canned because of everything. So I basically have always had no help, no babysitters, no grandparents. And I got to platinum enrollment after enrollment. So I am really not preaching to you from a place of privilege. I don't have whole work days. I do not have endless VAs, and I don't have endless time. I am a really busy mum. For me, it's a choice. I didn't always have, endless money to do fancy welcome kits. I didn't always have, the best, most well put together promotions. I didn't always have all these, things that I have now and have access to and have learned, but I continually offered my time. I continually checked in for my team, in with my team meaningfully, you know, and that doesn't just mean, hey, you know, do you need help with your order? It's like, hey, Sophie, like, I know your brother was not doing well the other day. How are you? Like, you know, a couple of messages later, then it's like, oh, you know what? How are your oils? Are you using them? Do you need help with anything? Yes, Sarah, I have this. Cool. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm going to get back to you with some information. Guys, I spent every bit of my time researching for my customers, pouring information into my private communities. What I really want to end on is that there is actually nothing more magic than the actual work of this business. So the promotions, the education, the community, it's actually my favorite part of what I do every day. And if I can leave you with one single message today that is truly implanted in my mind whenever anyone asks me, like, Sarah, how do you do it? Like, how do you do it? It's that success, not mine, not yours, it doesn't actually come from what you do occasionally. It honestly comes from what you do consistently. And so you have to actually show up every day, and you have to be authentically you, and then seek and share your lifestyle. So whatever that looks like, you know, for you, I can honestly assure you that if you walk away from today, from this session, from anything that anyone's going to tell you today, and you hold yourself accountable to showing up for your community every single day, like, the magic will happen. It doesn't matter if you've got 2 people in your community. It doesn't matter if you have 500 or 1,000. If you keep showing up for those people authentically, and you involve them in your journey, and you help them with their journey, like, your business will shift and change. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I've definitely ran over time. Sorry, guys. But I do want to say that I'm incredibly grateful to have been able to have this opportunity today. Guys, I am your standard mum. I'm home by myself a lot. I have my struggles. You know, I've yelled at my kids. I've yelled at my husband. I've done all the things. And I've built this business brick by brick, and it has been tough, and it has been magic, and it has been amazing. And I've never imagined that I would have these opportunities. And I'm incredibly grateful. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And I hope that some of you guys reach out and connect with me, because I would love to speak to everybody. So, yeah, thank you.